So I chose to do my video on the symbols of baptism. These symbols would include water, sacred chrism, white garment, and a lighted candle. Water is the most prominent symbol and the most known. Everyone knows that water is involved in baptism. But what they don't know is that water can symbolize a few different things. In the early part of the church, the person to be baptized, or a catechumen, would be submerged into water. This was to symbolize our dying with Christ and turning our back on things that would lead us away from God. Then, when we would rise out of the water, it would symbolize our rising with Christ on the third day when he rose from the dead. Our rising is a rising out of our old habits of sin and preparing to live new lives with Jesus. But in more modern times, since most baptisms are administered to babies, normally the baby is not fully submerged, but like the water would be poured on their head, and 3 times, while the minister, who could be a priest, a deacon, or in an emergency, anyone, would say, "I baptize you in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit." The next symbol is the sacred chrism. Now, the sacred chrism is leaves an invisible mark on our soul, because the whole sacrament itself does. Baptism is something that we can only receive once, and this chrism kind of seals us with the graces that we receive in baptism. And we have the white garment. The white garment, again, can symbolize a couple things. It can symbolize the purity we gain in baptism. We are cleansed from all sin, but mainly original sin, because we are born with it, and there's no other way for us to lose that sin. Because of this purity, we are able to enter into God's kingdom. And another symbol that the white garment could be is when Jesus rose out of the tomb, it was said that he had a white garment on, and it establishes a firm link between us and Jesus that can't be broken. And little connections like that make it easier for people to experience their faith more personally, and it's easier to understand something when you can relate and have a relationship with it. And then finally is the lighted candle. And again, the lighted candle can represent a few different things. So since the candle is lit from the Easter candle or the Paschal candle, it shows how after baptism we are united under God as one family, all sharing the light of Christ. At baptism, we are automatically part of God's family, so this light kind of shines in all of us. And then another symbol it is how we're supposed to carry God's light everywhere in the world. And in Matthew chapter 5, Jesus says, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor does anyone light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on the lampstand, and it gives light to all those who are in the house. Let your light shine before men in such a way that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven." Jesus is telling us that we shouldn't hide our light and that we should use it for good. But it seems a lot in modern times even that people are afraid of that gift. They think they can't handle something. But when in reality, God won't give us anything we can't handle, because he loves us and he knows us better than we know ourselves. So probably my first experience with baptism was my little cousin. She was 3 months old when it happened, so she was a little bit older than normal. Her parents weren't sure if they wanted to have her baptized, and I just remember when the water got poured on her head, she started screaming because she didn't know what was happening and didn't understand. Her godparents happened to be her aunt and uncle, so it was kind of a cool family experience that some families don't get, because not everyone's godparents are actual relatives. Mine isn't. Mine's my mom's best friend, and then my godfather is my uncle, but it's a different relationship. So that's my story. Thank you.